under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, back.
Hello.
Hello. All right. Pledge allegiance, roll call by city clerk.
Commissioner Dixon. Here. Commissioner Weeding.
Here.
Commissioner Walsh.
Here.
Commissioner Michael.
Here.
Mayor Lyons.
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right. Public comment. Anybody has public comment? Come up. Hold on.
No.
State your name, spell your last name. Section 2-34 of the Braidwood Code of Ordinance imposes a 3-minute limit for each person during this public comment. That way we can keep the meeting going. So if you can get to 3 minutes, that would be great. All right. You have public comment?
Yeah. Can I?
Get up there. Go. See what you got.
I'm Danita Morgan. I'm representing the Braidwood Area Healthy Community Coalition located at 465 East Reed Street. I want to start by thanking everyone who volunteered at the Community Garden for Planting Day on May 17th. We ended up with a total of 13 volunteers about them. We do need additional volunteers to assist with regular keep up with the garden, so I'm asking anyone to contact me if you're able to help out at any given moment. And this weekend, we, fortunately, First Presbyterian Church has allowed us to kind of piggyback off of their fundraiser. And we are doing a parking lot sale. It's next to the garden behind CVS. If anyone has anything personally they want to sell and want to set up a table, we're renting those for $5. So people in apartments, shared living, whatever, for just don't want to set up your yard, it's a good option for them. Also, for every $5 spent at any of the tables or donated, including spot rental, you're going to receive a raffle ticket. We have a gift card arrangement that keeps growing and growing and growing. It's already at over $200 worth of gift cards. The Reed Custer Prevention Operations Youth Group will also be on site for lemonade and bakes. And now I have to address something. I'm going to try not to go over 3 minutes, but I also have a statement from someone else too. In last week's paper, there was a sound off regarding the coalition. This was a very negative comment in which I believe that the person who submitted it does not have the correct information about what we do. I'd like to invite this person and anyone else in the community who does not know what we do to give me a call at the office. It does forward to my personal cell phone, so you can call at any time convenient, and don't worry about office hours. Then we can go ahead and set up a chat. I'll even buy you a cup of coffee if you want to meet at Dunkin'. The coalition wants to ensure that accurate information is shared throughout the community and any misconceptions are cleared up. We are a nonprofit organization, and our mission is to work with our community to help ensure our youth have knowledge and alternate activities that make healthy decisions. We mentor and sponsor the Reed Custer Prevention Operations Youth Group. For the last 10 years, we supply youth prevention education materials to our schools. We deliver prevention and recovery messaging to the community. We collaborate with various community organizations to provide drug and alcohol-free activities to youth and to create community change. These collaborations include, but are not limited to, Summerfest, National Night Out, the Fatal Vision that we now have with the PD, and Movies on the Green. We provide opportunities for coalition and youth group members to attend substance misuse prevention and leadership training events, offer peer support for those in recovery, sponsor and facilitate weekly Smart Recovery support groups to those in recovery, flyers on the table, provide substance use resources, safe drug disposal kits, prescription drug lock boxes, and Narcan. We also sponsor many Braidwood area youth sports teams. We award scholarships to Reed Custer High School graduates, which is generally 2 to 3 scholarships a year. We also sponsor post-prom for the last 8 years, and we oversee the community garden. Proceeds from every fundraiser we have helps us support our substance use prevention and recovery programs. And through our youth prevention efforts, we've been able to reduce youth drug and alcohol use in our community. Our work has been recognized nationally as a recipient of CADCA's prestigious Blue Ribbon Award, and to accept the award, the coalition sends our program director, our president, and our youth group leader to the ceremony at the White House. So again, if you'd like to learn more about the coalition or you have specific questions or comments, please contact me. Our informational postcard is on the table. Now, the youth group leader was unable to be here today, but she asked me to go ahead and share this with you.
All right, we'll give her 3 more minutes.
It's way shorter than mine, I promise. Good evening, my name is Tori Loomis, and I'm proud to serve as the youth group leader for the Braidwood Area Healthy Community Coalition. I've been involved with the coalition for a total of 8 years, 5 as a youth participant, and the past 3 years as the youth group leader. I joined this coalition when I was 13 years old, and from the very beginning, I realized this was more than just a group of adults telling kids what to do or what not to do. It was and still is a space where young people have a voice, where we're empowered to lead, to learn, and to support one another. Over the years, we've worked hard to change the narrative among our peers. We've built real connections in the community and created a safe, welcoming environment where teenagers can talk openly about the importance of mental health and the long-term impact of substance use during adolescence. We've helped our peers understand how mental and emotional health are just as important as physical well-being. We've led efforts to educate students at the high school about how substance abuse in the early years can have serious consequences for both body and mind as we grow and develop. Since stepping into this leadership role, our youth group has been grown to 10 dedicated members, 10 young people who are passionate, engaged, and committed to raising awareness about mental health and substance abuse prevention. We're more than just a youth group. We're the next generation of advocates, educators, and leaders. And we're proud to stand by with the coalition in building a healthier, stronger, Braidwood community. Thank you.
Now I got a question real quick.
Yes.
Do they do surveys, like have they done surveys over the years so we can see how the progress is, well, how things are progressing?
Each year we do a Illinois youth survey to the state. Yes. And then the following year that data is available.
Okay, now did you ask Nina that or the other girl? Who answered my question?
I answered that question.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions about drug use? Okay, real quick, I don't want to get in trouble. Sarah, am I recording? So make sure I don't get in trouble. All right, anybody else for public comment?
Says full name, but usually middle name is sort of part of the secret thing. But my name is William Dean Bose, B-O-S-E. And I'm wondering why you do not, or do you, because I believe know you don't, fix buffalo boxes that don't shut off the water. Because years ago, Rick Palago, when he was small enough to get in the small window, was at my house.
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't shut it all the way off at that point. And now, just recently, 2 years ago or something, maybe a year and a half, whatever it was, it won't turn at all. And I noticed a few days ago, maybe a week and a half, right across the street, sort of, kitty corner, there was a house. So whoever was from the city couldn't get that one to turn, it looked like. So and maybe that's a big thing that happens, but I'm concerned about that because I would like mine to be fixed so it can shut the water all the way off.
Okay, I'll look into it and get you an answer.
Okay, thank you.
Tony Altieri, A-L-T-I-E-R-Y. I'll be addressing this one to the mayor and Ms. Dixon. I am speaking to formally address a matter of serious concern regarding the budget spoken of. After reviewing the details and comparing them against such source documents and actual expenses, it has become clear that there are significant discrepancies between the figures provided and the reality of the financial situation. These inconsistencies go beyond what could be reasonably considered oversight or error. Several line items appear to have been intentionally misrepresented or omitted, leading to distorted view of the city financial position. The level of this misrepresentation undermines the integrity of the process and raises serious questions about accountability and trust. It is critical for the city's integrity of our city future collaboration that all financial information be transparent, accurate, and complete. Speaking of which, Ms. Dixon posted this in the paper saying we're $2.6 million in a deficit, along with passing out this paperwork. So I FOIA'd some paperwork. It turns out at the end of the fiscal year last year, we had $9,305,000 in the bank. Ms. Dixon says that we were $2.6 million in the deficit. Our expenditures were $9,180,000. Our revenues were $10,700. That means we are under budget by $1,522,000. So I'm not sure how a deficit could be there. The 2006 budget started at $10,700 plus 3%, which we added. Along with taking, the water department had a surplus of $1.2 million last year. So there's an extra $800,000 added into the enterprise fund this year to replace 2 generators and 2 well pumps that are in dire need of repair and or replace. Additionally, there was $300,000 put into the MFT budget for more streets, new stop signs, street signs, all the decorative signs we were looking for. I also pointed the MFT budget. You guys do not have one. Should have been done, needs to be done. We have to get the blessing from the state. So to say we were in deficit is not right. Then we hired a part-time consultant at the cost to exceed a full-time administrator, 45 to 50 hours per week, which was done. And we will be having the engineer and attorney working double time to oversee and advise on issues that have been made in-house prior to this. One other subject I have. I'm writing to formally express my concerns regarding an incident that occurred involving the finance, my fiance and Ms. Dixon. It was deeply troubling to learn that profanities were directed at her at a recent interaction. Regardless of circumstances, I believe it is essential that those in the public service maintain a standard of professionalism and respectful communication at all times. Such language and behavior are not only inappropriate, but also undermine the integrity and dignity expected from your office. I trust that you will reflect on the matter seriously, take steps to ensure that all future interactions are conducted with professionalism that position demands. In case anybody's wondering, Ms. Dixon decided that calling my fiance a bitch was appropriate in front of other people in the city in this building. Thank you.
Anybody else, public comment?
Excuse me, Liz is asleep. Liz Walsh. I will not give my address as we've had vandalism at our home. Our truck was keyed, flags ripped off of our deck, banging on my side of my house when he was out of town. This has gotta stop. And the way you treated all of us ladies on Wednesday, and then to call somebody a name like that, and there was a child here. This is ridiculous. We are volunteers. We come and volunteer for the city, not you. We don't work for you. And all of us deserve an apology from the both of you. And I'd like that list so that I can call those ladies and apologize, because I don't think it's gonna come from either one of you. That's it.
Thank you.
Chris Erling, E-A-R-L-I-N-G, Winning Metro. I know I've spoke about this before, and basically, we had an administration that ran, their finances, their numbers, how they see fit, and from what I can tell, the numbers were in the positive, whether you guys liked it or not, you had a CPA, city, the towns or cities. CPA sat up here and said everything that everybody did was legal and just and was good. Everybody had the opportunity to come here to that meeting and talk to them and speak about it. And so we got a new council in. You guys want to change it up? That's fine. Go ahead and change it up, but and run it your way. We shouldn't have a problem with that. I mean, everybody has a new opinion, everybody has a new view when they come in. So we'll accept that and move on with it, but we've only been here a month, so let's not try and pretend like y'all know what the budget is 100% and start bringing out numbers at how the last administration was you know, in the red or black or whatever damn color you call it. When the CPA was, you know, sitting right up here, and I don't believe the man is gonna put his name, his face, his business, you know, in jeopardy to sit up here for Tony O'Terry and give you a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, I mean, so all I could say is, you know, if you wanna run it as the past administrations did, that's fine. You know, one admitted to leaving $700,000 in debt, another one was $1.9 million in debt, I put a lot of money into that one. You know, proving that one, we're still looking for $40,000 from a check that he got, you know, from a loan that he got. Still looking for $40,000 that are missing. That's never, ever brought up. But I paid $16,000 of my own damn money to find that one out. So, let's just move on, but don't sit up here and pretend after a month that you guys know what the budget is, or that the previous administration left with millions of dollars supposedly in debt. You know, if you guys don't like Tony, we got it. All right, let's move on and you know, stop trying to throw the last administration under the bus. Because, you know, let's you know, move on with the way you guys want to run it, and let's see where it goes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jay Nixon, 195 North Lincoln Street, PIXON. That is my wife over there. Tony, your wife threatened my wife that she wasn't going to get on the...
Should you be addressing it now?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll address it.
Speak to this after.
Then shut up. Then she threatened my wife that she wasn't going to get on the food pantry. She got so many people so mad that they've had 2 people quit over her. So, was she right? No, she was not right. Was she mad? Yes, she was mad. They pushed her to go in. They came into that meeting for the flowers, and they harassed her right from the beginning. They wanted to record her to make sure that she did this, that she did that. Every time Liz went to speak, Karen interrupted her. They don't ever put any of that out on the paper, do they? Thank you, have a good day.
That's a lie.
You know,
Listen to the recording.
Hold on,
I
hey,
did.
hey, hold on. Anybody else for public
I was
comment?
there.
Is anybody else here for public comment? Okay, there's something that needs to be addressed. There's been a lot of issues and a lot of hard feelings in this community. I think that as we all look around, I think everybody is here is for the best interest of Braidwood. And we gotta start acting like this. How is what this is going on, how is it helping Braidwood? And that's what you have to ask yourself. If you sit there and you're listening to me and you have hate, how does that help Braidwood? I ran because I love my community. Karen ran because she loves her community. We all ran because we have this vision of what we want to do for our town. We can disagree, but why don't we have some compassion and do it the right way and talk about it? We gotta get rid of this hate if we're gonna move forward. I've been involved in this town and been a citizen and been involved in youth sports, and this has been going on for years. I would like to be the one to try to change this. I go onto social media and I see nothing but hate. How about we get a fresh start? Let's fresh start. Raise your hand if you don't care about Braidwood. Raise your hand if you don't care about Braidwood.
I would have to disagree, and I stand up and I always speak for what I believe in. The reason you ran was to fire me, and if it wasn't, and if it was to move Braidwood forward, you would have done as you can do, replaced him with a new administrator with no problem, but you didn't have to change the rules in a retaliation to take away the power of these 2 men just to get me. It starts with you. You started the headache, now you have to deal with it. You did it. You know the retaliation along with Ms. Dixon.
I really 100% believe that you believe that.
So you're gonna tell me,
No?
it doesn't make sense.
I work
I'm
side
not
by
gonna
side.
disagree
I'm gonna
with
tell you
you.
something.
Yeah.
I work side by side. And when I ran, I was being transparent. The biggest thing that they want in this community is transparency. When I decided to run, I made it clear the decision I was making. People were gonna ask me. I just said I'm going in a different direction with the city administrator.
Absolutely, and you have that right as mayor.
Yes.
You did not have the right to change the laws. Well, you technically, I guess you did have the right. It's just, it fits under the retaliation that you two decided to do, to take the power away from these two, to take something out. When I went from $67,000 when we walked in to $9.6 million in the account when we left, and you're gonna tell me we didn't do something good, you're wrong. You were let go because you weren't doing your job as chief. I didn't do that. That was the mayor. You blame me for it. I have 15 people right now that swear that it will go in the court and say, he said he's gonna right the wrong that Tony Altieri did to you. So you got what's coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, Lou Erling, 180 North Mitchell. You sit up here and ask for everybody to get along. Last meeting I was at, Ms. Dixon kicked me out of the room. All I wanted to do was talk to the city reporter. I got kicked out. That's not asking a community to come together when our own council people cannot treat our citizens with respect.
Thank you. All right. Anybody else public comment?
Yeah, I got one more. I'm sorry. I think the point the mayor here was trying to make is from this point forward to respect and be kind to one another. 2 weeks ago don't matter, a month ago don't matter, the election time doesn't matter. From this point forward, if we are gonna grow and succeed as a community, everyone needs to put their crap to the side and let it go. Thank you.
Excuse me? I was curious because I walked down the sidewalk a lot, and there was a kid, he was either getting community service or he was a summer worker, I don't know, but he got that sidewalk really clean. And later on, she's emptying flowers out in the dirt, but most of the dirt's near the curb, about that much. So all of a sudden, his work, if it was community service, is gone. And I figured that was significant, and people seem to have problems with all kinds of things.
Okay. All right. Approval of minutes. A motion to approve the minutes.
You never close public comment.
Okay, I'll close public comment.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of Tuesday, May 27th, regular meeting.
I'll second
Commissioner Weeding,
Yes.
Commissioner Michael,
Yes.
Commissioner Dixon,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh,
Yes.
Mayor Lyons,
Yes.
motion carries.
All right, reports by city commissioners. My report, Mayor, I request a motion to approve raises for the following non-bargaining employees. Do I have a motion? For administration coordinator at 3%. Do I have to break it down, or can I do it just like a consent agenda and move all together? And then a code enforcement for 3%.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Dixon,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh,
Yes.
Commissioner Weeding,
Yes.
Commissioner Michael,
Yes.
Mayor Lyons,
Yes.
motion carries.
All right, also have, under mayor, so just to kind of update everybody on the future of the chief of police of Braidwood. So I had contacted the Will County Chiefs Association and asked them to complete an assessment. So we had brought in, and which was a lot, but we had brought in 9 chiefs over a 2-day period, and they were all interviewed. They submitted to me and to our new city management consultant a list of names. And so we will go off that name, and we will, however, we'll talk about this executive session, but how involved does the council want to get? Do we want to have a special meeting, bring an executive session? Does everybody want a chance to meet the 3 candidates and interview them?
That would be, and I already have an opinion on that matter, I'll address it a little bit.
Okay. So,
I would like to see.
yeah, so we did an impartial, it was 3 chiefs from the Will County Chiefs Association. So they came in with no knowledge of any of the candidates and did their interviews. And again, they provided us 4 names out of the 9 people that they interviewed. 2, what else I got here? I ordered the entrance street signs for when you come to town for our state champs. Also, I'd like to give a shout out, I got some emails, it's kind of explained, a shout out to Pink Heels. If anybody's familiar with what Pink Heels, what they do, their vice president actually is a member of our community, he lives here. Pink Heels is an organization, it's a national nonprofit movement that focuses on supporting individuals, particularly women and their families who are battling cancer and other serious illness. What makes Pink Heels unique is the community-driven, volunteer-based approach on the use of pink fire trucks, police cars, and other emergency vehicles to bring attention to its mission and to lift the spirits of those affected. Their mission is to support people and not the cause. So shout out to the Pink Heels. Now, since the city engineer is not here, Dale, are you going to report on anything with the city engineer? He had sent out an email. I didn't know if you had got that email, if you saw it. He kind of gave an updated.
What was the subject?
It was just an update for funding on 2 projects early this month from IDOT as part of the $4 million funding opportunity. We should know something in August, but the grants were like $1.2 million each, and they were to address several miles of street repairs. The first and the most severe, and then the second to the roads in just a poor condition.
Is he talking about 129 at the state?
No, not about that. No, just some grant money that he applied for.
Okay.
There's like $400 million out there, so he applied for 2 separate grants for us.
All right, no, I didn't.
And then he talked about what our improvement plan was. The 2025 street improvement design is underway with the anticipation of a bid next month. So we have 3 streets: 3rd Street from Center to Mitchell, Stacy Court, which we talked about that, and Vita Lane. Stacy and Vita are concrete and are required some drainage improvements as well. So anticipate providing the contractor will with a longer window to construct that, maybe mid-November. So that was his report. I wanted to update everybody on the engineer's report.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks for doing that.
Just some stuff about our water plant or something. I'm sure you're gonna touch base on the water tower. And then the generators that need to be updated. Okay. Let me make sure I got everything that I wanted to talk about. No, we're good. We'll move on to the city management consultant or city administrator.
Thank you, President Mayor.
Yeah.
Okay. Ms. Beal, all right. Well, thank you. First of all, I just want to report to the commissioners and mayor that you have a very passionate, very dedicated staff. I've been here 7 days, have met with the staff on quite a few occasions. They are very, very passionate, very, very dedicated to making Braidwood as best as possible. We kind of talked about it at the staff meeting. It's just really refreshing to have a very exciting staff that is extremely passionate. A couple of shout outs. I want to thank Sarah. She's been really helping me quite a bit. She's a wealth of knowledge. The IT guy, Josh, we put him in charge of our IT committee, and he has been outstanding, working on Springbrook and working on some of the things that we're behind on with respect to technology. So he's been just really, really awesome. I met with a bunch of public works gentlemen. Again, very passionate, very loyal, and they want to make sure Braidwood is the best community in Illinois, which is awesome. So you're very lucky, and the citizens are very lucky to have a very dedicated commissioner group, mayor, and staff working for the citizens of Braidwood. So in your packet, I believe Sarah put this in your packet. She created this for me. Myself, Shelley, the mayor, and Sarah sat down. We created a project update. There's 12 projects on there. It kind of gives you a little status of what's each project and where it's at in the process, either through permitting, engineering, inspection, whatever. And it's just kind of a brief, and it's my plan every 2 weeks to give you an update on this and say, hey, you made progress here, this is still where it's at, and keep you informed with regards to all the projects that are currently underway here at Braidwood. On one of the projects, so I'll highlight just a couple of them. On one of the projects, Camping World, they began a parking lot construction permit. So we put a stop work order on that project. The mayor and I had conversations with Camping World's general manager throughout the country. They've hired a very good reputable engineering firm. They will be doing full engineering drawings, so our engineer can review to make sure there's proper drainage, to make sure that curb and gutter and whatever else is meeting our code of ordinances. So that's ongoing. One of my goals, and one of the things that I think that needs to be done as quick as possible, we need to revamp our building permit and application process. We need to streamline it, we need to automate it, and we need to be more efficient on how we process our permits, especially with inspections. A lot of things are done, and there's not a civil engineer inspection. And hence you have drainage problems, hence you have sidewalk cracking or whatever. So we have to look at the streamlining that process to make sure it's to engineer. The mayor had mentioned that we went through police chief interviews. I attended 9 interviews with the police chief. I was very impressed with the assessment board, Chief Hayes, Chief O'Shaughnessy, and I'm not sure the lady.
Chief of Frankfurt Police Department.
Frankfurt, yeah, she was excellent. So I was very impressed with their process and the questions. We had 9 very good candidates. Very tough choice to whittle it down to the 3 candidates that the mayor is going to recommend. Sarah and I are working on the garbage contract. I believe it's up in October, correct, Sarah?
The end of the year.
End of the year. So we're working on the garbage contract. We'll be putting out bids, and we will come to the board or to the council, to the commissioners, before we do that. One of the ideas that myself and the mayor talked about, I think I talked to Dale with respect and Liz, is that what I'm used to, and it's totally up to you, is we have a workshop meeting. A workshop meeting, or they call it committee of the whole, and it's typically a half hour prior to 1 meeting a month. So you meet 2 Tuesdays a month. And at this workshop meeting is projects are discussed, items are discussed, ordinances that are going to be passed or voted on at the next meeting. And it's a really good way to have transparency with respect to how we had an idea, how this idea came to fruition, how this ordinance affects the residents, if it's good, bad, or whatever. And so it's a great time for the commissioners and staff to communicate with respect to a specific ordinance. For an example, I'll just throw this example out there. After discussion with Public Works, obviously a generator is one of the first and foremost items we need to purchase. And this is a great opportunity to discuss this at a workshop meeting and say, hey, this generator is needed because of these 3 things. We can do this type of generator, or we can do a generator, we spend a little more money and get a long term, and we need 2 of them. Public Works has a lot of great ideas on how we do that, and so it's a great idea. Hey, it might cost us a little bit more if we do it this way, it might cost us less if we do it this way, but here's our recommendations, your thoughts. And again, that's just an example. And so I think it's a really good idea. It's totally up to, obviously, the commissioners and the mayor, but to have a workshop at 6:30, we can do it at 7 or whatever, for a half hour or so, and have different items listed, and we discuss those items. And typically, some of these items will be voted on at the meeting, at the following meeting, right after, or some of the items might be 2 weeks down the road. It all depends on where we're at in the process. So I'd certainly, I'm not looking for an answer today, but it's something for you guys to think about and say, hey, is this something we want to implement here? I know most communities, school boards, has a committee of the whole to discuss items prior to voting on the items.
Is that public?
It's a public meeting, and there has to be public comment at these workshops, and it's a great opportunity for the public to make comment on an ordinance, and a great opportunity for the commissioners to understand and learn how this ordinance affects the community, and what are the benefits, what are the drawbacks, whatever. So it's a great collaborative discussion that we have with respect to a specific topic or a specific ordinance. So please think about that. With respect to IT and our technology, again, Josh Bellato has graciously twisted his arm to say you're in charge of this IT committee that we put together. So it's Josh, Sarah, and Gary, who is our IT consultant. We are looking at Springbrook, which is our current software. Some things are underutilized, some things are utilized perfectly. One of the things we're trying to do is we're trying to streamline the purchase ordering process. And it's not punitive, it's just efficiency. And one of the suites that Springbrook has that we don't have is a purchase ordering process. And it has a hierarchy of approvals. And I think that's something that should be implemented here as soon as we can, pending cost and pending the financial obligations we have. But that's what we're doing right now. We met with Springbrook today. We have a couple ideas, and we are meeting with Springbrook in 2 weeks to go over the purchase ordering suite and how that works and what the cost of it and how we can, is it user friendly? You know, so we're in the infant stages of looking at that. Updating our building code, that's gonna be a long process, but our building code was last updated, I believe, in either 2006 or 2009. I believe it's mandated that we need to get updated by 21. Is that what it was, Brian?
It's 2018.
2018. We have at least got to 2018. We want to make sure we take a long time and really look at this, because there's a lot of things in the building code that we don't want to implement. We may want to, but some of the things we want to omit. One of the things that I'm always used to is sprinklers. The new building codes say every house should be sprinkled. Well, that's just cost prohibitive for a house. So we want to make sure we look at those things and say, hey, we want to omit these from the code, or we want to keep them in the code. So it's a long, arduous process going through those codes. Myself and the mayor will be meeting with a landscape design firm to discuss ideas on a town center and a gathering spot, place for the town. Obviously, we're in the infant stages. We don't know what the cost is going to be. We don't know what impact it's going to have on budget, but we have to start somewhere. And first thing you start is with the design firm and figure out what we want. And we need community input. And you know, one of the ideas the mayor has, let's get community input on what are the things we want to see in the town center. So that will be coming down the road. And lastly, I'm sorry I've been so long here. Lastly, we'll be working in a drainage committee. There's been a lot of drainage complaints since I've been here for 7 days, and a lot of complaints are because there hasn't been a civil inspection after the fact. And so we need to figure out how we can solve some of these problems. We're putting together a drainage committee, the engineer, public works personnel, myself, to review each drainage complaint. There may be a no, we can't do anything about it, but if there's something we can do about it, we want to give the resident, hey, this is where we came up with. This is because the house was here and the drainage ditch is here, there's nothing we can do, but we want to have that discussion and have that analysis to make sure we're doing the right thing. And this committee will just meet once a month with staff, and we'll turn around and say, hey, this is where we're at on these 6 complaints. We can solve 2 of them, the other 4 we can't. Again, hypothetical, and that's kind of the goal of this committee. So that's where we're at. Any questions? I know I threw a lot at you there. But any questions, anything that needs to be addressed?
The Springfield system, is that integrated with the existing system?
It's the same system.
Okay.
So Springbrook, you know, and it was unbeknownst to me until today, and Sarah probably can jump on this more than I can, but I'll try, so stop me if I'm wrong. We have a finance package, we have utility billing, we have permit and licensing through Springbrook, but we do not have a code enforcement, we don't have a PO, we don't have, yeah, was it just those 2?
Those were the 2.
Code enforcement, PO, and,
Fixed assets.
oh, fixed assets, and vehicle maintenance, and other fixed assets. So we're looking at those suites, again, to be budget driven, but from an efficiency perspective, it is so much easier for staff to purchase things, go through the process, and it's much easier tracking, and it's just a much easier system. And it's a lot of training, you know, it's a lot of training, but it's something that, to make the next step, it's something that I think is warranted here. I'm sorry.
I don't know his name, and
Yeah, Steve Goldon, so if you want to stand up, Steve, that's our new city